Hey, what's up? It's your friend Phil here, Project Management Trainer and Coach. Welcome to PMP Exam Drive Time. I hope you're doing great. This is the 31st of December, 2016. It's our final day of the year. I got some really great news before I headed out a few minutes ago from two students of ours on the very last day of the year. Monique and Robert, hearty congrats to you guys. You absolutely surprised me by taking this exam on the very last day of the year and killing it. It was a great surprise. I love it when I get emails from people telling me that they aced the test. You know, sometimes I get emails from people telling me the opposite. You know, people saying I didn't prepare well, I didn't prepare hard enough and I failed, or I did everything I could and I failed. But it's really good to hear from students who I've been communicating with along the way who have finally just, absolutely obliterated that ridiculous exam. So hearty congrats to them, and I'll just share a few quick tips, just observing how these folks got engaged on our system and how they passed the exam. So the first individual decided that extra coaching, training, mentoring, support was needed to be able to ace the exam. So around September, October, that individual came aboard the system, started studying with us. And one thing I did notice about this student was the engagement. I got a lot of emails, questions, and lots of traction from this individual compared to a lot of other students who get on the learning system and don't stay as engaged as this particular person is. And then the other person realized about a week to the exam that additional support was needed. So that person came aboard our PMP exam prep camp solution. I believe the PMP exam power review, beg your pardon, because the power review solution is different from the prep camp. Prep camp is a 35-hour course, and the power review is a real power review. I mean, 6 hours taking you through the entire PMBOK guide content in 6 hours with some additional coaching, mentoring and stuff in between. But anyway, just looking at two different solutions. One solution, the first person I talked about came on board and did the 35-hour course. The second person did the 6-hour course. But one thing was the engagement, taking the mock exams. Both of these individuals took our mock exams, and it was very easy for me to predict after a particular point, yep, you're ready, you know, I don't know what else you're doing, but you're ready. And the other person, I just knew that it would be curtains for the exam. So there you have it. You know, if you're trying to get certified and you're doing it alone, without support, without a coach, without study materials that fit your learning style, you know, because different people have learning styles, such as, you know, some people prefer audio, some people prefer video, some people live by nothing but audio. They don't have audio, they feel they can't study. And there are other people who live by video, and some don't even like audio video, they like books, see? And some people like data flows. So whatever your preference is, we have tools that will get you there, you know. And these folks, they realized what kind of study mode, what kind of study pattern, what kind of materials they needed. They got those materials from us, got engaged, and the rest is history. So if you are thinking of getting certified in 2017, here are my quick tips for you. 1, don't start the new year without having a plan. Okay, so if you're listening to this, you might want to pause it and begin to plan what you're going to do to get certified. I'm not talking about doing the same thing if you've tried this before. Don't just say, oh, I'll go for a course. No, be intentional and decide how many hours or even minutes, if it gets to that, how many minutes or hours each day am I going to dedicate to study? And then come out with a schedule. Build your schedule in MS Project and be intentional about the schedule. Monday to Friday, what are you going to be doing? From what time to what time? What kind of content are you going to be studying? And I actually have a video out there about how to prepare a sensible timetable for studying for the PMP exam. So, watch that video. And I would also advise that you get a study buddy, a mentor, someone who can help you, someone who can take you to where you need to be, as far as PMP exam readiness is concerned. Because there are too many people trying to do it alone, and they fall flat. There's no stream of communication with anyone. I would not advise that. That is not the best way to proceed. Best way to proceed is have someone in your corner who's helping you, who's coaching you and mentoring you, even if it's by email. It's definitely better than trying to do everything alone. All right, well, enough said. That's all I've got for today. I wish you a happy, prosperous, delightful 2017. Be safe, and I'll speak to you again soon.